Hey, how you doing? And welcome to another episode of Technology Tuesday. I'm your host, Greg Russell, and I am here. And today I will not be with my regular uh, co-host, Mr. Jerry Franklin Poe. He is out on assignment, and we want to wish him traveling mercies. And he is out doing his thing as a speaker, and we wish the best for him as he travels. But what that means is I will be doing the show by myself. So I think I can handle it. Do you think I can handle it? You think I can rock it all alone solo? Think so? I think so. Well, either way, we gonna find out. All right. So listen. First of all, I want to thank you guys for tuning in today. Appreciate you for being here. Got an exciting show, some things I want to share. Want to take a step deep into AI agents and show you what they are, how they work, and why now is the time you should kind of be looking into this stuff. So I want to. This is going to be an important episode. So if you know someone who should be checking this out, you should let them know. Send them the link if you're catching us on a replay. And if you are catching us live, then let us know. Let us know in the comments that you're here live. And if you're catching the replay, let us know that you are watching the replay. And if you have any questions as we dive into this stuff, as we start to unravel these things here with technology and AI agents, whatever questions you have, make sure you ask them in the comments, and we will be more than happy to get you some answers for those questions. With that, we're going to dive right in right now. All right. Thank you for being here. Listen, I want to talk to you about AI agents, what they are and how they work, and how you can use them to help take your business to the next level, and what you can do to make sure that you are taking advantage of the idea. Let me do some settings here, make sure everything is good. All right. Got to do the producer thing at the same time as the talent thing. And that's how we rock it. So listen, AI agents, they are. Oh, I'm missing something here. Let me take care of that. Okay. All right, I got everything squared away here. So listen, AI agents are things that will allow you to automate your business in a way unlike before. And so this thing kind of really opened up this year. Early this year in January is when it kicked off. Now we've been playing with AI and enjoying some of the things that AI can do and being fascinated with it for probably the past couple years. But in January of this year, something drastically changed with the ability for AI to not just work in a browser, but work on your computer. And that will open up doors for things to be able to automate in ways to be able to take work off your plate. But I'm realizing and I'm learning and I'm seeing that with all this capability and all this power, a lot of times it's keeping people more busy at their computer, not less. Now, if it's just me, then okay, it's just me. But I'm pretty sure that some people will agree with me. So let me just ask, will you agree with me? Are you spending more time at your computer trying to figure out how to make it do work for you so you could spend less time at your computer? So a lot of times, the idea and the fantasy is not the reality. So let's break this down. AI is basically what most people see. What I see is two parts, right? You have a web browser where you can go and you can ask AI a question. Matter of fact, we're going to do that. We'll ask Google a question so you guys can get an idea. But typically, you ask it a question, it comes back, it gives you information. You give it a reference, it come back and give you an image. Okay, so for the most part, that's what a lot of people experience, and there's different levels, different degrees of it. But what is an AI agent, and how does it differ than just a chatbot? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and ask Google, and I'm going to break down its answer. Then I'm going to give you some things that will open your eyes to what AI agents really are and how you can benefit from using them. So I'm going to jump over here to the desktop, and I am going to zoom in. See if I can see these comments. Hey guys, how you doing? Thank you for your comments. Thank you for the for the hearts. Appreciate that. All right, so I asked Google, right? I didn't even go into AI. I just asked Google, what is an AI agent? So let me zoom in here so you guys can see this on screen. We'll do it one more time so you guys can see it nice and good. So, all right, so basically, it says right here, and this is just Google. Question is, what is an AI agent? An AI agent is an autonomous software program that uses artificial intelligence to perceive its environment. I think that's important. Perceive its environment, make decisions, and take actions to achieve a specific goal. So that's what an AI agent is. So I think there's some other questions for you to understand exactly what it is and how it works. Is the next question I would ask, and I think you should ask, is, well, where does it live? Because a lot of us think that an AI agent, we kind of envision a robot who kind of understands everything and goes just does stuff, but that's not actually what it is. So I want to say, where does an AI agent, if I can spell it correctly, live? Boom. So listen to this. This is important. AI agents live across different infrastructure depending on how they were built and used. Unlike simple chatbots, these autonomous programs run persistent processes to handle complex workflows, orchestrate tools, and communicate with both humans or other agents. Okay. So I think the first part in the first one that we talked about was an environment. And this talks about persistent processes to handle complex workflows. So I think it's important for us to understand that's kind of what an agent needs to be able to run and to work very well. So what I'm going to do is we're going to have a scenario. We're going to think out and map out a scenario, okay? And so the scenario is this, right? You got this world-class chef, can make amazing meals, and he is awesome, and he can do it quickly, and he can listen, the guy is amazing, and you want this meal from this chef. And so you go meet the chef, you take him by the hand, you're walking to the park. It's the middle of the park, and you let go his hand, you step back, and you ask him to do his thing, make you an amazing meal right here, right now. And the chef looks around and he says, okay, well, he looks back at you and says, I need some stuff. I need a stove. Can you go get me a stove? And you go get a stove and you bring it to the park. And he's like, oh, this is good. And he said, I need some pots and pans. I need some things to put on the stove. And can you go get that for me? And then you go grab the pots and pans and you bring it to him. And he's like, we're getting close. He said, you know what now? I need some food to put in the pot and pans. Can you go get me give me some chicken and some vegetables? So you go get the chicken and vegetables. You bring it to him. He said, we're getting close now. He says, can you bring me some seasonings? And so then you go bring the seasonings. Okay. And he's like, okay, now I can do my thing. And he starts to whip up the meal. And so then he whips up the meal and he said, okay, I need you to get something else. I need you to get some plates and some forks and silverware. And you go get the plates and the fork and the silverware. And so he has the meal and he puts it on and then he hands it to you, right? So this illustration is exactly what a lot of people do with AI. They take their AI and they ask it to do stuff, or they want it to do stuff, or they need it to do stuff, and it doesn't have the tools or things to do it. And so now you're going to bring it the things for it to do the stuff, for it to give back to you. And then there's this back and forth that you go with the AI. It's not autonomous. It doesn't have the environment to go and do things itself. Now I want you to think about this. That same chef in a kitchen with all his tools and all his stuff and all his staff, he can just whip up a meal. He doesn't need you to go bring the stuff. So when it comes to AI agents, we have to think about how can we give them the environment to be able to go out and do the things we need to do. And that's what I want to share with you guys, exactly how to do that, how to set that up in a way that makes sense for the entrepreneur to take advantage of all these tools and systems with AI. So before we dive into the desktop and I share some things, I want to talk about two different sides of AI. There's the sides that's the online web version where you are logging into a website to use the AI. And then other side is where you're downloading an application where the AI can actually run on your computer. And this gives you some advantage because this AI can have access to the files and folders on your computer. And this opens up a whole new world when you understand that because of the files and folders on your computer, you can give it the environment. You can give the chef the kitchen that it needs to make all these meals that you want it to. So this environment lives on your computer with your local files. And so I'm going to talk to you about how it can do that from a technical aspect, and I'll break it down into a very simple process that you can understand. So one of the things that I've done for years is build websites. And when you build a website is basically in a folder with lots of files. So just think you have a folder and you have some Word documents in those files. In that Word document, you have home, which is the home page. You have about, which is the about us page. You have contact, Word document, which is the contact page, right? And these files in this folder make up a website. And typically in website stuff, the index file is the home page. And for most software services that run, they know when they go into a folder, they look at the index file first. That's the first thing they read. Why is this important? This is important today because this is what you can use to be able to give AI the path and the structure for it to know what to go look at and when, so that it can do the job you want it to do. So I'm going to show you one of my files. Well, I'm not going to show it all to you. I'm going to show you a part of it. I'm going to share with you a part of it and discuss how it works with an AI agent that lives on your computer. So let me find it first. Okay, I found it. And let me set it up so this makes sense, so you guys don't know what you're looking at. So we're going to go into a folder. This is where the AI agent goes to get its information, and it gets all the information it needs. And before it does that, it needs to know which thing to look at first. Why this is important? Because you don't want it to go read all the things. You only need it to read what it needs to do the job or task that is assigned. So typically for it to do that, it needs instructions. And so I'm going to show you a part of my instruction for my AI, right? So we're going to dive into it right now and show you guys. And here we go. All right. So this is a part of a pretty large document that explains to my AI what to do. And this one, it's talking about saving and routing. So listen, watch this. This is very important. In saving and routing, right? Listen, never ask permission to save. When meaningful information comes up, preferences, project updates, corrections, action items, decisions, save it to the right file immediately. Then briefly report that you saved it and where. The user should never have to say, yes, save that. So in my conversations with my AI, it knows to automatically save important stuff based on just that one line. But it goes deeper, right? Route everything to its home. There is no catch all, right? Everything has a home. It's telling the instructions is everything has a home. Every piece of info has one place. See the knowledge routing table. So lower on this page is the routing table. I may show it to you. Says route project into the right subdirectory. That's what that stands for. Do not cram everything into a README file, right? Meeting notes go into the correct subfolder. Reusable content, prompts, frameworks, template goes into resources with a descriptive file name. And projects, whenever a note relates to a specific project, enables surface anywhere in the query. So basically, if it has to do with a project, put the information in with that project. And here's another important one. Oh, here's it is. Keep index. Remember we talked about index files and how typically in HTML and website stuff, when it opens up a folder that has a website in it, index is the first page it reads. So my question is, if we set up files and folders for our AI, is the index going to be the first things it reads? And the answer is no, unless it's told to do so, right? So it's no, unless it's told to do so. So when we go back here and we look at it, this is where we tell it in the instructions, keep the index files current. When you create a new project, a new client, or a notable folder, and add one line entry to the parent index of that folder, update the vault structure tree only for a brand new top level folder, never for individual projects or clients. So what that means is when it reads this, and there's other folders inside of this vault. It knows that when it goes into a folder, it can look at the index, and that index will have the information about all the other content within that folder. What this does, this stops an AI agent from having to read everything to be able to understand the things in that folder. This allows it to go and get just what it needs based on the structure of the folders. So this is how we can create AI agents to give them a foundation of access to the things we need. And so let me see if I can find and share with you guys a structure that would probably make most sense to you guys. Give me 1 second to find it. And basically, this structure is just really small files called markdown files that can live on your computer inside of one folder called your AI agent, whatever you want to name it, and then it'll have all the things in there that it needs to do, all the instructions that it needs to be the brain. And this folder is easily backed up so that if something were to happen to the actual computer, you can just restore that back up and start off from the last time it was backed up. And you can easily back up the folder every day or every other day, depending on your usage. All right, I am almost there. And I hope this is making clear sense to you guys. If you have any questions, drop it in the comments and I will help you out. Okay, I'm not seeing what I want to see. I found it. Okay, let's go back. I'll share it with you here. Boom. All right, so let me zoom in so you guys can see this again. Where is view? Here we go. I don't see zoom in. I see zoom out. Oh, here it is. One more second and we will be ready to roll. View is zoom in. All right. Let me try it on this side. All right, there we go. So here we have these folders. These colors represent basically just folders inside of my AI folder structure. And what it does is allows you to allows the AI to understand what to do, where to go. So basically, it has this Claude folder here, and this is down here. This is what we were just reading. This savings and routing. This is the main instructions that all AI agents could come and read, and then these are the different folders. So it has context. In this context, it has the index file. And so the index file tells it what the individual files right here are and what's in them, right? And so it can come and it can read just the 7 or 8 different index and knows where everything is inside of our system so that it can find the info that it needs. This is how you give an AI agent an environment. Without this, you are constantly going to be giving it the information it needs and getting the information it needs. Where when you set this up like this, you can then have a conversation with it, even about it, and it will write and update everything as you go. So basically, what I do is I typically just have a conversation uh, every single day with my AI about the projects I'm working on, the things I'm doing. And then also I have sometimes conversations about the system itself. How can we improve this? What's going wrong? I can use this with any AI system that accesses your desktop computer. So that means Claude Code, Claude Cowork, that means Codex, and there's a couple other of them out there as well. But those are the top two. And then they can have access to other files on your computer if you want them to, or even access to the internet where you can allow it to go out and do things on your behalf. But giving it the environment, giving it everything it needs, right? So we have the context, we have it understanding the brand, the business, my ideal client, right? And so if it doesn't need that, then it doesn't need that. But if it does need it, it can go, it knows where to go and grab it. All right. Having the daily conversation every single day about what was done next. So we can go back and pull what was the things that we worked on yesterday. What do we need to work on today, right? Intelligence. It keeps certain decisions, right? It keeps who our competitors are. Memory, right? It has a memory file, its own memory that is not built into the software. This gives us our own memory, right? And then resources. This is where your your frameworks, your SOPs, your playbooks, anything about the system that it needs to know that has resources there, skills. Anytime you create a skill, a lot of times there are a lot of people sharing the skills and the resources of how to do certain tasks on the internet, and it's really attractive. Hey, use Claude to go this, do this. And here's the benefit of this system that I really want you guys to grasp. This system does not save the skills and the information in the actual software. It's told at the very beginning to save it inside these files. Why is this important? Because if you ever break up with Claude, or you break up with OpenAI, or you break up with whoever, right? Because we've seen over the last 6 months, these things change all the time. Their philosophies change all the time. Their principles change all the time, and they might not align with yours anymore. And it's like a relationship you have with these companies. You have a relationship with OpenAI if you're using their product. You have a relationship with Anthropic if you're using their product. And then if you decide that, hey, you no longer want to have that relationship for whatever reason, your stuff is now saved inside that software. And when you stop using it, you have to figure out how to go get it out. If you use this system like this, you never have to worry about it because all of the information is on your own computer that you have backed up anyway. So it's a much more user-friendly system for you as the entrepreneur than putting your stuff in there. So the question you might be asking, and I think you should be asking if you were me, is how can you get this system, right? And so listen, I am doing a class, and we will teach you exactly, go a little bit deeper in it, how to use it, how to communicate with it, and we will allow you to install it on your own computer, and you can have the install for yourself. So basically, that class is at gregurl.com/foundation, and you can come and we'll spend 2 hours going through setting it up, everything, and you will get the actual files to install this system and run on your computer. You will also need a paid version of a Claude or OpenAI, one of those two, to at least get set up and running with the system. And you will have it, and it will grow with you. All you have to do is have a conversation every day about the projects you're working on, the things you're struggling with, the things you're excited about, and it will adapt to you. When you have challenges, or not challenges, but when you have things where you want the system to do, you just tell it, hey, I'm feeling like we don't have a folder for this, or I want my clients, I want each client to have its own folder in this section. All you have to do is talk to it, and it'll go do it. It'll ask you, yes, do I want to put it here? It'll ask you that, and it'll go do it. And then you start to understand, now you have a place that can actually understand you. So when you see anybody who is offering how to use Claude or Cowork or anything for a certain thing, when you go get that skill, it will save it inside your own skills. And then now you have it to be able to use, and you don't have to give it as much prompting or everything, because every time it loads, it will automatically find out about you, your brand, your company. It has access to all the files that you are constantly improving by having the conversation every day. This is the system. This is the foundation. This is the environment that AI agents live on. So now once you have all this and you fire up something that is like, hey, go check this every day, it has all the things it needs to go do that without you. Without this, you will be constantly working on feeding the AI so that it can do the things, because it doesn't have the context around you. Where if you build a system like this, it does. It will build the context around you. What I showed you here, let me just wrap this up in a nice pretty bow. This is Obsidian, and all we're seeing here is files in a folder that sit on your local computer. They are markdown files. They're very small, tiny files that look just like text. Obsidian makes it pretty for you to read and see, and it links everything automatically. Again, that's part of the instructions, which you'll get for your own system. It links everything automatically, and it is both free for Mac and PC. And so this is, it's not, you don't need this to set up an AI agent system. It just makes it easier for you to look at what's in the files every now and then when you need to see if it's not operating the way you want, then it's just somewhere in the files. And you can go read it, see what it says, then you can just go back and have a conversation and say, hey, we need to update this. A lot of times it will ask you when you're having the daily conversations, how if you want it to change something, it'll give you recommendations. You can ask it for recommendations. This is what I truly believe is the future, because it's not reliant on one AI company. It's not relying on one model, because the companies and the models are going to change. This is reliant on the information you give it, so you have its own context. It has your context that you control in your environment. That is where the foundation lives. Listen, join me this Thursday for our web class. It's gregurl.com/foundation. You can come hang out with me and you can get the setup installed on your computer, whether you have a Mac or PC, and it will bless you to be able to use AI in a way that you will truly appreciate, because you are building a foundation for agentic AI, a system that can understand you, run with you, learn from you, grow with you, and help you grow your business. With that, I hope this has been a blessing for you. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Greg Russell, and hopefully we will see you in that class. And if not, make sure you join us every Tuesday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, for a very special episode of Technology Tuesday. With that, guys, have a blessed day, and I will talk to you soon. Take care.